you heard about the billion-dollar projects that are coming to Arizona? Today we're going to be discussing that on the Daily Arizona Update. Today is September 3rd. My name is Cole Rep, and I'm a real estate agent that has sold millions of dollars of real estate, so I'm quite familiar with the space and what is going on in Arizona. My promise for you in this video is that you'll understand more about Arizona by the end of it, and you will avoid moving in the wrong areas because you want to be in the value-added areas that are coming to Arizona. Let's get right into it. So, the first one is going to be the $650 million Astra Tower project that currently is being postponed. We talked about this in an earlier video, but it is a tower that is struggling to get financing. It was supposedly going to be the biggest tower in all of Arizona, being even taller than the Chase Tower currently. It says that there are fewer than 10,000 people that live in downtown Phoenix pre-2014. Now there are 24,000 more residents. So the area is expanding, but the issue is Chase Tower has been vacant since 2021. So what are some of the items that the Astra project is looking to accomplish? The first being Chase Tower needs to find new ownership. They are saying that behind the scenes, there is some restructuring of ownership to bring it back online. It is currently fenced off and partially boarded up. There are new renderings for some developments, whether that is hotel, office, residential, and some ground floor retail. There's no timeline yet, but ideally, before the Astra project fully gets financed and starts the project and the build, this gets some sort of tenant. If you're in downtown Phoenix today and you're building the tallest tower, you might want to have the next competition fully leased out. Otherwise, it makes no sense to keep building these massive things just for them to be empty. Right now, you can see the Chase Tower Phoenix vacant. It is a little sad. There is all the lights on in the building at night, but there is nobody home. Let's find an example for it here that's pretty good. I mean, you can kind of see here, it's completely vacant. There is nothing going on. So, the details of the project itself is it's going to be 44 stories tall. This is assuming that it all happens. It may not, again, because of the Chase Tower, but we'll see. 542 feet tall. It is going to be the tallest building in Arizona history, and it is going to be located on 2nd Avenue and Van Buren. So the clock is starting soon with an estimated completion of 2028 if all this happens between now and sometime early 2026. There is going to be some apartments in the building, there's going to be a hotel, there's going to be ground retail, very similar to what they are talking about here for the Chase Tower's comeback. Very, very similar building. Next up is going to be Vestar unveiling a massive mixed-use project in Mesa, Arizona. Now this is going to be something that I'm very excited about. I'm more of an East Valley guy. I love Scottsdale and I do go there often, but for the most part, I've grown up since I moved from Utah to the East Valley. And seeing this Legacy Park area grow has been really cool. This is going to be a multi-billion-dollar mixed-use development that is by Vestar in partnership with the Pacific Proving LLC. God, I'm terrible at pronouncing things. The project includes retail, office space, 2,400 apartments, and a resort hotel. Construction is going to begin in 2027 with Athens Group luxury components. So this project itself looks absolutely beautiful. You really never know how things are going to turn out from the renderings itself. If all this happens, this could be one of the greatest, more walkable, quote-unquote, downtown areas that is in Mesa. East Market is super cool, and they're doing a lot over there by the 24, but there is nothing like this. This is something that could rival Scottsdale Quarter. And if you live in Mesa, the Scottsdale Quarter is going to take you around 45 minutes to maybe even an hour with traffic to get to. So in this, you're going to have 300,000 square feet of upscale, retail, and chef-driven sit-down restaurants. There's going to be 2,500 multi-family residences, a 600-room resort hotel, 3.4 million square feet of mid-rise office and corporate campus space, and more than a 20-acre urban park that will include several trails and a large man-made lake. This has the potential to be something absolutely incredible. It says the project will be built in phases, with the first one breaking ground in 2027. Phase 1 of Legacy Park will include retail and hospitality components, 700 multi-family units, and 100 square feet of office space in the park. So we're going to keep our eyes on this one as this one progresses. Any updates, you'll make sure to hear them on this channel. Next up is going to be something that is a little less exciting for residents, but still very important for the economy, which is the $1.2 million square foot Mac Innovation Park in Scottsdale. Mac Real Estate Group announced the initial phase of Mac Innovation Park Scottsdale is fully financed and is breaking ground imminently. And again, this was back in 2024, so there are updates since, and this has since progressed. This is more what it looks like today with some of the walls up. But this is what's going to be happening. 305,400 square foot is in the first phase of developments located on a 124-acre infill site in North Scottsdale. There is going to be the capacity for 1.2 million square feet across 11 different buildings. The reason why this matters is it says that Scottsdale industrial market continues to see limited new supply and ongoing rent growth. Given these positive dynamics, we believe that Mac Innovation Park Scottsdale will be well received. We're excited to break ground on the first phase with supported construction debt from Bank OZK and PJM Real Estate. So this is something that the space just needs as this more commercial industrial market is continuing to boom in Arizona. Next up, we have something very similar. This exact same idea of an innovation park of more industrial buildings is coming to Chandler. There's going to be a 327,000 square foot industrial park coming. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but it says that Chandler Innovation Park is expected to deliver in the second quarter of 2026. So this is one to watch around the corner. Again, it's not that exciting for us residents, but it is something that is going to fuel the economy. So if you live in Chandler, this is really great because a lot of high-paying jobs will come here. A lot more things like how in Mesa we're getting Meta, we're getting Virgin Galactic, we're getting TSMC. So there's a lot happening, and we want to support it. The next thing coming up in Scottsdale is Bond. This is going to be a little bit smaller of a project, but more usable for any Scottsdale residents. This is going to be a co-working space that is available for podcasting. It is available for eating, for dining, for big business meetings. This is from the same creator as the Jonathan and Alexander in downtown Chandler. So this building currently is one of the premier office spaces in the area. The building itself is super beautiful, and there is the downstairs bar. There is, I don't know now, maybe 5 different floors. There is this space here that is actually all co-working space. Then there's different suites inside here. There's title companies, there's retail spaces, there's even a bank on the right side here. So a really great area for anyone in Scottsdale that is looking for a co-working space, or if you run a business, something that is going to be important to you. It's going to be here at Bond. Next up, we have Heritage Park. For anyone in the East Valley, you're going to be touching on downtown Gilbert's Heritage Park expansion. So this is going to be, the initial phase includes 47,000 square feet of retail and restaurants. Novel Heritage Park, a 288 residence dynamic luxury and multifamily community, more than 300 surface parking spaces, and a lush public square with water features, manicured landscaping, public art, and a public and walking path. So the reason why that is so beautiful is right now we have downtown Gilbert, which is definitely the premier spot to go if you are in the East Valley. It is the closest thing to you, especially for people in Mesa and Eastmark. But what's happening is the area is expanding incredibly fast, but there isn't a lot of expansion happening in Gilbert itself. It's an older area, and a lot of these buildings that are there have just been here for a long time. Let's see if we can go a little satellite view action. Let's see if I can figure this out. Oh, we're already on it. What am I doing? We're here. So for the most part, downtown Gilbert has consisted of not that. We've had, this section here. And slowly, it has expanded more to the side. This parking lot's a little bit better. There's a little bit more over here. They're building this whole section here that was new with the parking garage. But for the most part, it's been this. And then you compare that to something like Old Town, and you go, man, Old Town has a lot more going on. You have, this entire section. Sure, it has a lot more financing and a lot more behind it, but it's massive compared to what we have over in Gilbert. So the benefit of all of this expansion is this major spot right here is going to bring almost half of what downtown Gilbert is currently in this empty space. There's going to be multiple bars, multiple restaurants. I know that Flagship Group is bringing multiple places. These are the company that brought Champagne Lanes, which I don't know what is going on with my internet. Bear with me. This bar, for example, is a Flagship Group bar. Absolutely beautiful. So for all of us in the East Valley, we could use any expansion that they are willing to give us. Slowly, they will work their way down here. We understand that. But for right now, I'm incredibly excited to see what they do with this space. There is a lot of room to work with. They could use some more housing, they could use a little more parking, and they could use a little more things to do. Right now, you have a lot of this bar scene happening here with a couple right here, but expanding to this section is only going to help grow the area. Next up, we have potentially the latest and greatest story of it all, which is South Pier coming to Tempe. This has already gotten approval. South Pier, Tempe progress. And I go to Tempe quite often for the run club. I don't know what is happening. Some users are going to say it's because I'm using Safari. I have no idea. But this has seen so much growth right here. I mean, the buildings are already well on their way. This $1.8 billion project is coming to life. We are about, I want to say, 5 to 7 years away from this fully seeing the beauty that it can become. But there is going to be a Ferris wheel, which is the silliest thing ever. There's going to be all this different housing, apartments, condos, hotels. It is going to be an entirely different universe for Arizona. We already have Tempe Town Lake, we already have Tempe Marketplace, we have a lot going on, but it is literally creating this miniature walkable city. If you live across the town lake, you can run, walk, scooter, skateboard, anywhere you need to go. There's gonna be world-class public art, mountain views, walkable urban design for anyone living there. You can dine on the water, you can stay in a hotel on the water, there's gonna be shopping, there's gonna be working and co-working spaces. This project is absolutely massive. 2,300 apartments, 160 condos, 520 hotel rooms, 600,000 square feet of Class A office space, restaurant and retail space. There's also gonna be a $12 million lake pedestrian bridge and public pier paid for by the developer, $2 million in lakeside open space and park improvements, and then more than $12.5 million will go to the Tempe Coalition for Affordable Housing, which we can all appreciate, especially my generation and those to come. A Ferris wheel is also going to be here. Again, I cannot stress enough that there will be a Ferris wheel. Why? It's going to be hot in Arizona. It's going to be sweaty. I don't understand it fully, but I'm sure that they have a plan for it, and boy, am I excited. The project will be built out in 7 phases over 15 years by South Pier Tempe Holdings LLC, an entity Washington-based McBride Cohen Management. None of that matters. What matters is this. Just absolutely beautiful. This area will be breathtaking. And these are the major projects that should be on your radar going into the year 2025 as we wrap up, and 2026. If you're thinking about buying, selling, or renting in Arizona, my team would love to help. We know a lot of these areas very well and where the pockets are that you should be considering if you want to go into these growth areas without paying premium prices today. So with that all being said, I will see you tomorrow for the daily update of September 4th. I hope this was helpful. Peace out, y'all.